ఓం శ్రీ గణేశాయ నమః. ఓం శ్రీ సరస్వతి దేవ్యే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. ఓం సాయిరామ్. అనంతకోటి బ్రహ్మాండ నాయక మహారాజాధిరాజ యోగిరాజ పరబ్రహ్మ సచ్చిదానంద భక్త ప్రతిపాలక సమర్థ సద్గురు షేగాన్ నివాసి శ్రీ గజానన్ మహారాజ్ కి జై. శ్రీ గజానన్ మహారాజ్ విజయ గ్రంథ్ చాప్టర్ 8. శ్రీ గణేశాయ నమః. O beloved son of Vasudeva and Devaki, protector of the gop and the gopis, annihilator of demons, please bless me. I am aware that devotion and penance are required to gain your favor, but I am unable to offer these. Your praises are in Sanskrit, new to me. I cannot decipher those words. I am dumb. How can a frog get honey out of a lotus bulb? I am penniless and cannot obtain your favor by feeding a batch of the poor. I cannot visit shrines and holy places to acquire your kind grace. Because of my health and fading eyesight, I seem to be helpless on all sides. It is clear that hopes and dreams of the poor are never fulfilled. Even then, your blessings fetch delight. I am aware you don't have to be rich to get it. When clouds pour down water, lakes and rivers get their fill in full. I look forward to the showers of happiness. A drop of nectar removes all sickness. In the last chapter, we talked of a family feud between the houses of Patil and Deshmukh. Such unhealthy rivalry brews tension. Tuberculosis of body and social friction spell disaster. Defeating efforts to ease the situation, the event here was triggered by Amahar's refusal to obey the orders of Kanderao, the highest authority in Shegon. Maria Mahar, the mail carrier, stayed near the lake. He enjoyed a special privilege at Deshmukh's place. With taunts and uncouth filthy words, he declined to execute Kanderao's work. He was warned to behave himself. More so, as Kandu was head of the place, Maria disregarded the admonition and teased Kandu with obscene gesticulations. The cause of this altercation was plain. Patel had some mail to send to Akola police station. He asked Maria to take it to the destination. Maria refused, saying, I am Deshmukh's man. I don't care orders from you, understand. He ridiculed Patel, infuriating him a lot, resulting in a blow by a stick on his arm that hard force had fractured his hand. Patel sent the mail with someone else. Relatives of Maria took him to Deshmukh's place. This gave Deshmukh a chance to harass Patel. They took Maria to the police station in a bid to lodge a complaint without the happening. All tensions in society are blown up the community to an enormity. A complaint was registered by the authority. Orders were issued to arrest Kanderao. The news spread like wildfire in Shegon. Patel developed a lot of fear and worried about the impending danger. He prayed to God Almighty to save him from arrest and indignity. For a man of his status, humiliation is worse than death. His brothers too looked worried and helpless. Then it suddenly occurred to Kandu Patel that he better see the saint and seek his help, as no one else can save him from this mishap. His brothers went to Akola to seek legal advice. Kandu Patel went straight to the saint at night. He bowed down to Maharaj and told the story. I thrashed him as he refused to do government duty. Deshmukhs are using this event to put me in difficulty. They are trying to get me arrested. None else except you can help me at this stage. Maybe the police will take me tomorrow. I would like to kill myself before I go. I am a man of dignity, and the insult of arrest is like death to me. I accept I was violent in that situation, but the whole thing is blown out of proportion. Please save me, O kind saint, from this contempt. In the episode of Jayadratha in Mahabharat, Arjun was ready to burn himself for dignity. God saved him and protected his honor. God also saved the respect and honor of Draupadi by providing her saris at the right hour. My self respect is being stripped here like Draupadi. Kandu's eyes were tearful when he begged for blessings. His brothers were worried over the arrest impending. Maharaj hugged Kandu Patel and said, a man of responsibility has to face such a fate and has to be ready for it. Such things happen due to selfishness and sinful thoughts. You and Deshmukh belong to the same caste. Yet selfishness has torn you apart. The enmity between Kaurav and Pandav in the epic of Mahabharata developed due to self-interest. Pandav were legally right, thus Almighty was on their side. Kaurav were defeated, so you don't have to be afraid. Deshmukh will ultimately fail. Eventually, Kandu was declared as not guilty. Blessings of saints cannot be deemed paltry. Patil brothers got closer to the saint after this challenging occurrence. Who would not like to sip nectar, the heavenly life giving elixir? A few days later, Patils took the saint to stay in their family. At their place came some Telangani Brahmins, orthodox, learnt, and well versed in Vedic prayers. In spite of his greed for money, their behavior, they had come with the hope of getting some here. Maharaj was sleeping when they came in. They started to sing the Vedic hymns. The intention was to awaken the saint and attract his attention towards them. The recitation involved a mistake, which the Brahmins did not correct. Maharaj was upset. He got up and said, "You are damaging the greatness of Vedic hymns. They are no tools for business. They have lessons to teach. Show some respect to your gear," which indicates that you are Vedic seers. Now I recite the words and you repeat. Don't misguide innocent believers. Saying so, he repeated the chapter with not a single mistake in the text. The pronunciation was clear in all respect. It appeared as if sage Vasishta himself was singing those powerful prayers to the ruler of all beings. The Brahmins felt ashamed and hung their faces. It was like holding a candle against the sun's radiant grace. The Brahmins had come with an impression that Saint Gajanan was a crazy someone, but found him to be a learned giant, and were certain that 4 Vedas were in his person. They thought of the saint as God incarnate. He must be a Brahman without attachment. Because of good deeds of previous birth, they were fortunate to have his darshan on earth. The saint told Kandu to give them a rupee each. They departed happily with this deed. Maharaj, like a true saint, disliked too much of attachment to life and people of the town and decided to shift out of his own. He moved to a garden to the north of Shegon under the cool dark shade of a neem tree. There was a temple of Lord Shiva in the garden. Krishnaji, the youngest brother, owned this one. The saint said to Krishnaji that he was there to stay in the vicinity of Lord Shiv Shankar. If this is a place he likes, it also is the place for me. Please get a tiny shed built here for me. Very soon it became a place of pilgrimage. Town where king stays becomes capital of the state. Bhaskar and Tukaram Kakote stayed with the saint to offer him routine care and comfort to a great extent. Krishnaji supervised the food preparations and took meals after Maharaj had done. About 20 ascetics came to the garden. They had heard about Saint Sri Gajanan. They told Krishnaji they were on pilgrimage to Rameshwar with holy waters of Ganges. We are disciples of Sri Brahmagiri, who is fortunately with us on his journey. We traveled afoot to holy places like Gangotri, Ketar, Hinglaj, Girnar, Dakhor, and Jamunotri. God works as a slave in Brahmagiri's house. Good deeds of your past have brought him here now. All we want is a shirapuri meal and few puffs of heroin. We will be here for 3 days and then go on our routine. Do not miss the chance of serving our class instead of the crazy man lying across. It is like kicking a cow and feeding a jackass. We are ascetics who have renounced the world. We are masters of Vedas. Come listen to our words. We will make Shirapuri tomorrow, said Krishnaji. Let it be just Bakri and Basin today as a proxy. There is no problem about heroin puff as I see. It was noontime. The lunch was over by the well. They sat in the shade with people as evening fell, facing Mahant, Brahmagiri, and Shegon Saint. Brahmagiri read the Gita and conveyed the gist of a hymn, saying, "The soul is eternal and no device can split it." Brahmagiri was a fraud with no spiritual attainments, and the people were not impressed by his sermons. They could see that he was playing with the words. People got up and went to the darshan of their saint. We heard the philosophy, it was phony. We see the reality in you, they said. The ascetics, who were now smoking heroin, were irritated by this remark to a great extent. A, a spark from the pipe of the saint fell on his cot and slowly spread. Smoke started coming out of the bed. In a little while, the whole cot was in flames. Bhaskar requested the saint to leave the cot. He cautioned that it was of teakwood make and would require water for putting out the blaze. Said the saint, "Don't get water to quench the fire. Let Brahmagiri come and sit with me here. Brahmagiri, you know Gita, with its meaning. Now is the time for you to prove its essence. Prove that fire won't burn Brahma. You have given a discourse for the last hour. You shouldn't be scared of sitting with me here. Bhaskar, go and bring him here with due respect and make him sit here to prove the aspect." Bhaskar was a well built man. With these orders, he caught hold of Brahmagiri to bring him here. The saint did not shift a bit from the fire. In Bhagavat, Prahlad, son of Kayadu, was made to stand on burning fire. The saint reenacted the same scene in Krishna Patel's garden here. When Bhaskar caught hold of Brahmagiri, he prayed to Bhaskar, "Don't take me to the burning cot. I fail to recognize the authority of the master." Bhaskar dragged Brahmagiri to Maharaj, who said, "Prove the statement which says, fire doesn't burn it." Brahmagiri got scared and replied, "I became an ascetic for good food and an easy life. I fruitlessly tried to learn Gita verse and called you crazy without any remorse. I regret the misdemeanor and beg to be excused." People from Shagon begged of the saint to leave the burning cot for their sake. They were frantically afraid of seeing him engulfed in the flames. Brahmagiri hung his face in shame. He had nothing to express. To honor people's sentiments, the saint alighted from the burning bed. The cot then collapsed in a moment. People threw water to put out the blaze and saved just a part of it as an evidence of the event. Brahmagiri fell prostrate before Maharaj and purified himself from all his faults. With waters of Ganges touching impurity, how can things remain dirty? At midnight, the saint advised Brahmagiri, "Shun hypocrisy. A saint has to forego worldly pleasures. One should be learned himself before preaching to others. Learning words without understanding them or preaching the spirit behind them is worthless. Understand the spirit behind what you learn." Machindra, Jalandhar, Gorak, Gahini, and Dhyaneshwar all enjoyed great authority in all spheres. Sri Shankaracharya attained self realization. Eknath, a family man, achieved salvation. Swami Samarth, a brahmachari, accomplished the goal. Remember these sages and stop wandering from Shirapuri. It would be a worthless waste of time for everybody. Brahmagiri quietly listened to his advice and left the place early morning with disciples. Next day, people gathered to see the burnt cot. We hope this treatise will liberate the readers from the material attachments. Jai Gajanan. End of chapter 8.